Hi, I'm Brien Lundin. You're watching Market 1 Minute, and I'm here with Bryan Slusarchuk of K92 Mining. Bryan, you were able to get into production very quickly with your project in Papua New Guinea. Can you tell us how you were able to get into production so quickly with that project?
Absolutely. We started to trade 7 months ago, and it's a common comment that we receive. How did you move into production so quickly after coming to trade quite recently? The number one answer to that is that we benefited from the significant infrastructure that Barrick Gold, the previous owners, developed for this project. Barrick bought this project for $141 million in 2007, subsequently invested in excess of $100 million advancing the project. So when we purchased this asset, there was an existing underground mine, existing processing facilities, a paved road to site, hydroelectric power, a 400-person camp, etc. So we were able to benefit and really leapfrog that traditional start process because the infrastructure was in place.
And that's the thing that's so remarkable to me. All of that value, and Barrick invested so much in that project. How in the world were you able to get a hold of it?
We were out there looking for gold assets when nobody wanted gold. We were out there as buyers when there were very few buyers in the market for gold assets, and we were buying at a time that Barrick needed to sell. Remember, Barrick had $13 billion in debt and had a corporate mandate announced that they would divest of all non-core assets. We were very early in that process, and we were able to pick up this asset that is an asset with existing infrastructure, but also with world-class exploration and expansion upside. Barrick didn't own this for 50,000, 100,000 ounces per year of production. They owned it because of the world-class exploration upside. What's really interesting is just a few days after we acquired the project, Bryan, a fellow named Alex Davidson joined K92. And why that is important to note is the fact that Alex was the executive vice president of Barrick when they purchased this asset and invested in it. And I think that speaks volumes about the technical team's opinion on the asset itself.
And you were able to really consummate the deal in the nick of time, because shortly after you acquired it, we had the upsurge in the metals market. You might not have been able to complete that deal in today's environment.
Absolutely. I think this deal would never get done today. And as they say in this business, timing's not everything, but it's almost everything. And we were very fortunate to be buyers when nobody wanted gold, and we hit that market timing, that downturn, quite nicely. And it took a whole lot of effort to fund this project privately, advance it privately, and then we waited and came to market when the environment slightly improved.
And so you're going to start off at about 50,000 ounces a year initially in the very near future, and then have a plan to ramp that up with even higher grade resources?
Yeah, the goal is to declare commercial production in the next 60 days at the first deposit, which is known as Irumafimpa. The goal there is to produce between 50 and 60,000 ounces per year, be in the lowest quartile of the industry in terms of cost, and then move to a deposit known as Kora, which is a larger deposit that we hope to bring online in Q1 2018 at a rate of 110,000 ounces per year. At sub $650 all-in sustaining costs, that can spit out a whole lot of cash flow, which will allow us to non-dilutively test the exploration upside at the project.
That's one of the things that really impressed me more than anything were the metrics on the project. Your cost of production, the internal rate of return, the net present value, everything for this. And when it came public, you had an initial upsurge, and it really just took off with the rest of the market. But it's come back a bit. It seems like it's a relative bargain in today's market.
I believe so. Claris, who was just on site, put together a really nice research piece. And what Claris points out is that we're trading at 0.3, the net asset value of the Kora deposit alone. The peer group average is 0.8. So a normalization with the peer group gives us significant upside. But what Claris also points out is that we're growing between 2017 and 2019 in terms of our production profile. So we're very undervalued on a net asset value basis. At the same time, our production rate and the growth rate of that production is significantly higher than the peer group.
Another really valuable asset for the company is the management and financial team behind it. Can you speak a bit about that?
Absolutely, and the team that was put together for this is truly world class. A fellow named Ian Stalker is the CEO. Ian's well known as an operator. He was the vice president of Ashanti when it was the 4th largest gold producer in the world. He's put 9 mines in production, on schedule, on budget, all over the world. But Ian's also no stranger to M&A activity. He was the CEO of Irumafimpa when it moved from a micro-cap company to a $2.5 billion takeover in the span of 30 months. Tuki Angus is the chair of the company. Tuki's also the chair of Nevson, is a legend in terms of M&A activity. We've got Alex Davidson, who I mentioned earlier, from Barrick on the team, and a fellow named Doug Kerwin. Doug's credited with leading the discovery at Oyu Tolgoi. And these are guys that add a lot of value in terms of not only when we acquired the asset, but building the vision as to how we take this from a micro-cap situation to a serious mid-tier producer.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with the company, going for the company, and if you look at the value that you're producing, you mentioned M&A. I would think that you would be a prime target for a number of majors at some point.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the goal is to be 50 to 60,000 ounces, lowest quartile costs this year, 110,000 ounces plus next year. But the big upside here will come through the drill bit. And like I mentioned,
exploration.
Absolutely. And Barrick did not own this for 110,000 ounces a year. They owned it because it has world-class exploration upside. And that's what guys like Doug Kerwin, guys like Alex Davidson were attracted to this project in the first place for.
Well, Bryan, it's very exciting. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.